We start with Aston Villa today. I can hand on heart say it's not the biggest game of the day. Even though it's first versus fifth in the Premier League, there's the slight matter of Real Madrid in the Champions League quarter-finals. So that's probably going to be what we're waiting for in today's episode. We'll sim the game against Fulham in between. Then that will leave us 6 Premier League games left this season. And I'm very much anticipating going out of the Champions League to Real Madrid. But that's not to say that I won't give it my absolute all to cause an upset. Aston Villa to begin, and then it's Los Blancos. A little bit of a fatigued front line, but that's manageable. We've got good squad depth now and quality in the depth too. So fingers crossed we can deal with the trip to Villa Park very well indeed and keep Arsenal at arm's reach. Do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more content. This is coming to you 2 times a day, every day at the moment until it's done. And then when FC26 starts next week, or this week actually probably as you're seeing this, that'll be 2 times a day, every day, or every weekday at least as well. So lots to come. Make sure you're subscribed. Anyway, Villa Park. In goal for Aston Villa, Marco Bizot. Andres Garcia at right back. Pau Torres, Dallas Greenleaf, Patreon player with his hat on. And Ian Martson at left back. Gravenberch and Amadou Onana. Foden, Rogers, Elliott and Evan Gesson. You can see why that team is 5th in the Premier League, certainly, can't you? Dallas is genuinely their second best centre-back though, so it's not a fully strong or fully Ian Martson level defensive line, with only Bizot in goal at 78 rated, being their highest rated goalkeeper. There's still some weaknesses that we can look to exploit here, but Villa Park is not really an easy place to go and play football actually. It's quite an intimidating ground, IRL, and that Holt End will be making plenty of noise, so it's our job to shut them up. Taylor and Siddiqui got caught there. Ponceau will look to get round the corner and does so. Little back heel. Here's Kenneth Taylor arriving and it's on his left and there's space for the shot. Bizot with the save and Martson will recover, but it's one-way action thus far as you can see in the opening 10 minutes or so. I'm going to get that in there to Siddiqui who's got a little bit of space. And there's Semenyo, and if Gnabry can make the run through the gap, we can get him in. And we have done. Terrible defending from Ian Martson, just left his man alone. We will take the opportunity, thank you. Says Gnabry serving up a storm at Villa Park. 1-0 Black Cats. We haven't really been under threat. Villa have had quite a bit of possession. But I have to be honest, I can't recall Anthony Patterson actually having to do anything. So that's probably a sign of the nature of how Villa's day's gone so far. Siddiqui will look for Ponceau in here. Yeah, that's a very FC goal, isn't it? Sorry about that. Sorry. 2-0. That's a bit BS, isn't it? Lovely take from Baranachea. Rogers. That's a good ball as well into Martson. I'm not sure whether to... Yeah, that's what I was expecting to come. Ah, well, there's one bullshit goal apiece then, isn't it? It's a lovely finish from Harvey Elliott. Really well tucked away. Really well tucked away indeed, unfortunately. But never mind. It's, like I say, 1 BS goal apiece. But we still lead by 2-1. It's a lovely little back heel. It's now or never for Villa. Didn't quite do enough in holding the ball up at the other end. Gesson's a bit strong. That didn't hit a hand of Jed Spence. I think he's just got to that first. Good start to the day. Sunderland 2, Aston Villa 1. And we'll take that. It's Real Madrid that come to us first, I think, before we have to go to the Bernabeu. So bring it on. Well, here they are. They're a bit good. Thibaut Courtois in goal. Trent, Huijsen, Antonio Silva and Destiny Udogie, who's a new signing for Real Madrid from Atalanta. Or via Tottenham and then Atalanta. Tchouaméni, Valverde and Bellingham at 94. Rodrigo, Mbappe and Vinny. Good. Yay. Tears. Cameron McLeod is a Patreon player, is a backup goalkeeper, but it's obviously quite hard to get first team football ahead of Thibaut Courtois. Unfortunately for him, he's arrived at Real Madrid at the wrong time. Thibaut's not retired yet. I don't think they're going to do an Arsenal and sell their best goalkeeper for a Patreon player to take over. Well, this is the biggest game in the history of Sunderland Football Club, I might go as far as to say. Let's hope it's not the biggest defeat in the history of Sunderland Football Club by the end of the game. By the end of the day. I mean, Adingra's in. It's kind of what Thibaut Courtois does, really, isn't it? Adingra with the throw. Rig. You hear the roar of the crowd early doors here. They're very much up for this. The Sunderland faithful. Talby. Good footwork. Jalanolu's there. Out wide to Kenneth Taylor. Can I get that to Adingra? Probably not. The two centre-backs aren't the best, but Antonio Silva's physicality will make up for any lack of defensive talent that might be slightly lacking in terms of attributes. Jalanolu. Am I right in saying Jalanolu has played for Real Madrid before? I might be completely out of whack with that. My brain is telling me that Hakan Jalanolu has played for Real Madrid, but I might be misremembering that from a career mode at some point. Well, 94 rated Jude Bellingham quite simply just ran off the pitch with it. But yes, I agree top left that Kylian Mbappe is one of the players to watch. But quite frankly, everybody in their forward section is going to be a player to watch today, isn't it? We're keeping possession well in these early stages, I have to be honest. It's going well so far. You see Housen with the animation. Might have hit the gentleman sausage. He's blocked this shot well. Jalanolu delivers. Brobby could be underneath. It's going to fall. Yo! Woo-hoo! Of all people on the pitch, Alderete would not have been the go-to to get a goal, but that didn't look like it was that far away from the centre-back. Struck it very cleanly. Here's Trent. That's a very Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, isn't it? Vinny back to Bellingham. Well blocked. Still building well. Kylian Mbappe. Not the way. You want to concede a goal? Well, seemingly anything Thibaut Courtois can do, Anthony Patterson can do just as well. That was great reactions shown by the Sunderland number one. Can you change player, please? Thank you. Cool. Can't get there. Vinny. Rodrigo. Oh, chill. Thank you, Patterson. That was outrageous from Real Madrid. That might be the best passage of quick-fire play we've had against us in the entire save, and we have had some good tiki-taka football played against us in this save with Sunderland, but that was really right up there. It's Rodrigo now. I'm worried about the ball to Mbappe, but there's also the ball to Vinicius Junior you need to worry about as well. We'll keep it in play and stop them getting the corner, but at the minute, this seems to be a bit repetitive at the minute. Real Madrid attack. We somehow manage to stop them, just clear it, and then it comes straight back again. Jed Spence doesn't even get the chance to play the pass because Rodrigo's closed him down, and now Mbappe's got the ball again, but that's a loose touch. Maybe we should try a little bit more tiki-taka football of our own rather than just lump it and hope for the best. Never mind. Maybe I should just lump it and hope for the best. It seems to be working thus far. 5 minutes to go till half-time. This is prolonged Real Madrid pressure, but pressure that hasn't proven to be of success yet. At half-time, despite all of their pressure, we've actually had more of the ball. Dribble success rate is pretty good. Their 95% passing accuracy really shows that they've got the quality, doesn't it? They've had 6 shots to our 3 thus far. So they're certainly the side on top, despite the fact they haven't had as much of the ball. But if we can take a 0-0 draw back to the Bernabeu, or any sort of draw back to the Bernabeu, we're in a much better position than I thought we would be prior to the 2 legs starting, that's for sure. Spence to Jalanolu. Jalanolu looking for Brobby. Here comes the runner rig. It's not a great ball. And now we're in trouble. They've got us really isolated back here. Rodrigo's there. Mbappe's going to go to Vinny. That's where FC26, hopefully, will make a big difference. Because the fullback is right with Vinny Jr. And then when he actually gets to the danger area, the fullback is more concerned about where he's positioned with regards the defensive unit. He's right there, and then he just runs away from Vinny Jr. Good. He's 94 fucking rated. How about you stay with him, pal? Thanks, Lucerel. And Brobby. And again, going to try and do Trent for pace, but I just can't get the ball away from him well enough to have the opportunity to do so. Here's Vinny and Mbappe on his left. Patterson with a save. Second half is going the same way as the first thus far. Except they've got the goal. Right, counter-attack. Completely sent Valverde there. Make me the run, please, Brian. up against Trent. Now's where we look to utilise that pace and square it across. And Chris Rigg, the young pretender, the young hopeful in a Sunderland shirt in real life. Well, 3 years down the line, he's scoring against Real Madrid, boys, so hope for the best. 1-1. Nice tackle by Rigg. But Real Madrid having a little bit of a second half wobble here. I mean, there might be. Kemsdean Taylor's completely sold the defender. And then, unfortunately, just fired it straight at the bloody goalkeeper. Right, let's bring Siddiqui on. 1-1 after 82 minutes of leg number 1 is significantly better than I thought we'd be. We might. No, I'm not gonna get carried away. I'm not gonna get carried away. Diarra's in though. If I can find Semenyo, we could maybe have found ourselves a second and really been in dreamland. Marmol, Siddiqui, Neil. It's given away. Bellingham's won it back well. 3 to go. Here comes the counter. Thank you, Dan Neil. Semenyo's up. He's knocked Cucurella down there. I think Cucurella's playing CDM, you know. Here's a Dingra. He's done brilliantly. And Habib Diarra. Habib Diarra still. And a Dingra. No then. Okay, it'll be 1-1 from the first leg. We'll absolutely bloody take it. We'll go and sim Fulham. Back at... Well, I say back. We're here. It's at home as well. At the Stadium of Light. And then it's time to go to the Bernabeu. It's going to be a different prospect, I think, over in Madrid. But we'll absolutely take a one-leg draw. Or first leg draw. Fulham are 18th in the Premier League. And we have... rather remarkably, an 8-point gap at the top of the table at the moment. Arsenal still have their game in hand, but an 8-point gap is pretty bloody decent, really, isn't it? So we will make a couple of changes, but we're not going to massively risk. Not that it matters anyway. Fulham win by 2-0. Duranville and Banza, fair enough. I mean, that was still a very strong side. Man United lose, Newcastle won, but they're not near the top of the table at the moment, I don't think. Be curious to know, actually, what the other results were in the first legs. So it's 1-1 from the game at the Stadium of Light. Atleti went to the Parc des Princes and won by a 0-0. The game at the San Siro ended 2-2, and the second leg at the San Siro. And then Dortmund went to Juventus and at the Allianz Arena picked up a 2-0 win. So 2 away victories in the first legs. I mean, I'd take an away victory in the second leg, wouldn't you? Sunderland versus Real Madrid. It's probably the hardest tie we could have in the quarter-final stage. If we can see off Real, then surely we would fancy ourselves against almost anybody else remaining in that competition. And with regards to the Premier League, post that round of fixtures, that's the FA Cup, post that round of fixtures, the gap to Arsenal is 7, and they still have that game in hand, but that still only cuts it to 4 with 6 games to go. Real line up no, they don't line up exactly the same. Cucurella starts on this occasion at left back. Cucurella in for... Who was the left back last time? Udogie. Cucurella for Udogie is the only change for them. I mean, I was a bit starstruck in game number 1, and we held our own. So, I mean, what a place to go and play football. Honestly, I'd love to visit the Bernabeu in real life. 5 bloody tiers. It's a ridiculously outrageous game. Or a venue to play a game, sorry. But we'll do everything we can to come away from this famous ground with a famous result. Vinny against Trey Hume once more. Oh, smart from Cucurella. It's Bellingham. It's held well. Oh, lovely take by Rigg. Rigg, the new Job, I suppose, here at Sunderland. Oh, Brobby made the run and then just kind of stood there. Oh, very nearly fell very kindly for us. If we still had Job, if he hadn't been sold to Borussia Dortmund in real life, it would be quite the showdown between brothers here. Would go as far as to say I don't think Job would have grown to 94 rated, though. Kenneth Taylor. I mean, he's getting away. Schumanni's with me here. Support is arriving, and that's a terrible pass. Looking for Valverde. Shit. Okay. It's the counter-attack that terrifies me, because Vinny, Rodrigo, and Mbappe are just the scariest front three on a counter-attack I could possibly imagine, really. Jalhanoglu out to Talbi here. We're scary enough on our own counter-attacks, though, and Housen's not dealt with the run of Talbi very well there, and Brobby's positioned himself brilliantly. But Schumanni has recovered. Talbi under control, though. Back here to Taylor. Edge of the box. Hakan Jalhanoglu. Oh, that was travelling. That was really ripping towards the bottom corner, but Courtois got him down to it well. It would have been the quality of goal worthy of the tie. But Real Madrid defending well enough thus far. Valverde spreads it nicely. Brilliantly out to Vinny. He's got the agility on the turn. Mbappe's got Rodrigo. I don't know where Jed Spence has gone. And Real Madrid leads at the Bernabeu in the 24th minute. There comes the music. Well, we recovered from 1-0 down before. So we have to have faith that we can do it again. Because we need to do it again. The counter-attack that cut us apart. To give them the lead there. The defence just not dealing with all of the men flooding forward. Right. Okay. Rodrigo. And Fede Valverde. Well in, Nordi Mukiele against Mbappe. Alright, Kylian. Thank you, referee. Did think that was a little bit too much. Switch that out wide quickly. Try and catch them on the back foot. Jude. That's naughty, Mr. Bellingham. That's very naughty indeed, and you might be in trouble now. That really wasn't the best of challenges. What's the referee going to brandish? It is a straight red card. Jude Bellingham in the Champions League quarter-finals with Real Madrid 1-0 up on the night and 2-1 up on aggregate has seen a straight red card. Trying to take one for the team to stop the counter-attack. He's done more than take one for the team. He might have taken one for us as well. Well, now we have an opportunity. Can we come up with something spectacular? It's going to be very tough against Thibaut Courtois, regardless of how many outfield players they have on the pitch, isn't it? It's Valverde. And Cucurella. Raheem Diaz, Valverde again. Alin Hakan can't get it under control though. Valverde! I mean, that was an attempted clearance from Mukiele that thankfully fell to Jed Spence, otherwise would have been in real trouble there. Rig, can I catch them out here? They're catching themselves out. Another foul in the midfield from a counter-attack. They get away with this one. It was certainly not as egregious as Jude Bellingham's unceremonious chop. Adingra in the gap though. Adingra! That's as close as we could possibly come without getting this equalising goal. I can't believe it. Simon Adingra. He does love hitting the post from time to time. It's well blocked by Antonio Silva. We probably won't come much closer without scoring. Delivery's good. Adingra's up, but that is a long way wide. Siddiqui probably would add a little bit more from the 75th minute or so onwards. Semenyo taking the throw with his first touch. Here is Rig. Hakan Jalhanoglu. Brilliant challenge. So accurate. And here comes the Real Madrid counter-attack. Mbappe's so strong. So strong. And even Jed Spence can't cope with the pace. Trent. Schuameni. Raheem Diaz to Valverde. Tackled well. Counter-attack's on. Those fullbacks are pushing way, way, way forward. We've just got to make the most of it and try and exploit it. And Semenyo could do that here. It was meant for Brian Brobby. It's Talbi! It's Thibaut Courtois at full stretch to deny Kemsdean the equaliser. Udogi on for Cucurella now for them as they make a change in the defence. Talbi delivers. Can't get there. It's going to fall into a hand of a Sunderland man, and a free kick for them is what's going to happen. Fede Valverde. Fede, stop. Stop. Trent. You're worried about the pullback, then you're worried about the shot. Then there's the pullback again, and Trent. Oh, Patterson spills, but gets there ahead of Mbappe by a matter of millimetres. Mbappe. Oh. Literally just unpaused from making substitutions. They play that pass, Mbappe takes a touch and then shoots from 40 yards with the outside of his boot. And that is what 93 rated players can do to you. They might have 10 men. Mbappe's worth 2. We are out of the Champions League at the quarter-final stage. There will be no European triumph for Sunderland Football Club on the European stage in this save, unfortunately. It was semi-finals of the Europa League last season. It's quarter-finals of the Champions League this. We've given it our absolute everything here. And it might not yet be over. Siddiqui was the man that I brought on off the bench when I paused it. And he's just, with potentially his first touch, slammed us back into the game again. It's not over yet. Vinny. I can't outmuscle him. He's just too strong. Oh, what a turn. Hatrauda's going to come. Hatrauda's going to get there. Taylor. Jalanolu still carrying that knock to Siddiqui. Oh, why would you make Robbie go after that when Semenyo was there? That's annoying. Oi! Steps over the challenge through the gap. Siddiqui. He could have the impact of all impacts here. Could be the biggest game of his entire career. Courtois gets to that. Knock that down. Taylor. Oh, supposed to be a back heel. Back heel it, mate. 90th minute. It's now or never. Jalanolu. Siddiqui. Semenyo. No. Can't get away from Trent. And in the end, it's the Englishman that puts the final halt to the English side's Champions League journey. We gave that absolutely everything. And we took it to the wire. But in the end, it's the quality of Kylian Mbappe that makes the difference for Real Madrid. And we won't be the only ones to suffer that fate. We're out of the Champions League at the quarter-final stage. 2, probably the best goal that we've conceded, all save long in 3 full seasons. So, fair enough, I guess. Well then, just going to have to win the Premier League then, aren't we? We're out. PSG recover from their first leg defeat with an away win and then on penalties as it went to extra time. Inter are the Milan side to go through to the semis, and despite Juventus' 1-0 win on the night, they lose by 2-1 on aggregate to Borussia Dortmund. So there is a Spanish, a French, an Italian and a German side in the final 4. But unfortunately, no English teams. Jalanolu did pick up a knock in that game against Real Madrid, and it does look like he's actually going to be out for a period of time. Should have an email from the physiotherapist. Just 5 days with a bruised elbow. That's okay then, because Hakan is going to be important in our attempt to seal this Premier League victory, which we certainly could do in the not too distant future. Like we say, Arsenal have got a game in hand. 7 points to current gap. Could be close to 4 points with 6 games to go. We still have a couple of rather taxing games remaining. Burnley and Wolves should be pretty straightforward. Hopefully Leeds and West Ham will be as well. But Tottenham and Manchester City have to come to the Stadium of Light yet. It's not over till it's over. And we'll find out over the next couple of episodes. Thank you very much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next.